Hello, everybody. Long time no see. My name is Matt. It's been a little bit, but today is patch 9.1, Chains of Domination, and we have at least 3 cinematics in this patch. The raid one likely won't be out till next week, obviously, because the raid comes out next week. The one we have so far is this Tyrande versus Sylvanas fight. And then there's one more, which I believe is like Elune comes and like redeems Tyrande, which takes place after this first one that we're going to watch. So, this first one is Tyrande fighting Sylvanas. It takes place in Ardenweald. The setup to it is all of the various sigils from the Covenant leaders are being stolen. The Archons was already stolen. And I believe the second one they go for is this one, which is the Winter Queen's. It looks like the Winter Queen and her forces are losing because Sylvanas shows up, and because this is like an anime, Sylvanas has all the plot armor in the world, so no one can stop her. But luckily enough, the other plot armor of Tyrande shows up, and they fight. I don't know what's going to happen, but if you're watching this for the first time alongside me, you might want to temper your expectations, because there's absolutely no way in the world they're going to have Tyrande. She's not going to kill Sylvanas, obviously. She's the final boss of the raid, but nothing. I almost am positive nothing is actually going to come out of this, but hopefully it looks cool nonetheless. So we're going to watch it. Let's start it in 3, 2, 1, now. He's not that bad. Just don't die 8 times or whatever. Nice.
Tyrande, I understand you've been looking for me. Come then. Show me Elune's wrath.
Elune gave me her strength. The wrath is mine alone!
Do you guys remember when both these characters originally were like really skilled archers?
Knight warrior. I expected more.
I will take your head, Banshee! Just like I took his! I thought you didn't know.
Oh.
Your master is keeping secrets from you!
What? Is that a thing Tyrande can do?
They broke the through! Fall back! Fall back!
A trick. No! Elune, it is time. Inqua Melema.
She can fly too! Everybody can fly! This is Dragon Ball Z, guys!
At last.
Sylvanas is dead. What is she choking her
The
for?
knight's power wanes. Once again, she denies you victory.
Mother Moon, do not forsake me. End this.
I like that the echo of her voice goes away, though. That's cool.
Bask in the dying embers of your goddess's bargain, Tyrande. Nothing lasts.
Tyrande, can you hear me? Tyrande?
What? What? I mean, it looks super cool. it's very confusing narratively. I don't understand the point of any of this. Like, that, usually the cinematics are always a pretty integral part of, like, a story being told, which is why they put so much effort into them. But this felt like fan fiction. Let's make the two of them fight for no reason. Like, I don't. Why? Just why? To, like, all of the things? It's not like it's angering at all, because obviously she wasn't going to win, but I would have almost rather preferred Sylvanas do something to get away, rather than Elune just being like, nah, flip the light switch off for the powers, at the, I guess the only intriguing thing, which is just another further example of how they're going to have Sylvanas turn on the jailer for her redemption, is that she didn't know that Nathanos died, which is very confusing. I guess that was the Nathanos mention that they've been talking about in all these interviews, that, oh, she's going to bring it. Nathanos is going to matter. I guess he doesn't. Who cares? Also, how come the two, like, some of the most famous archers in, like, the entire franchise are just not using bows anymore? Like, what? Why doesn't Tyrande use a bow? Why does it, when she flies away, she just goes like, bam, and shoots her down? Why does she have to Goku fly and go fight her with Super Saiyan powers? Like, I don't... If anything, this cinematic is kind of emblematic of what Warcraft is, which is, it looks super cool, but it's confusing, makes no sense narratively, and when you analyze it even further, it kind of falls apart. Because what is Elune's role in this? So, she doesn't help Teldrassil from being burnt down. She saves, like, a couple people at the very end when they're all dying in the fire. She gives Tyrande this power, but then takes it away right before she's about to complete her vengeance quest, and it's very confusing. Like, I don't know what Elune's... Elune continues to not make any sense, and I know that the next cinematic has Elune in it, and I hope that you're supposed to watch, like, this one and the next one back to back almost, because I don't know what Elune is doing here. Like, what is her plan? Is it sort of a thing like... Is it kind of like the elements with Thrall, where, like, they'll give you their power, but if you use it the wrong way, they take it away? But then why... Tyrande... in the ritual where she becomes the Night Warrior, she literally just says, like, I'm gonna use this power to just kill all the Forsaken and Sylvanas. So it's not like, and then Elune gives it to her, so it's not like this was unknown. Can you just, like, take Elune's power without her giving it to you? Because that kind of goes against everything we've ever learned about Elune in the history of the story. It's all very confusing, and I don't see the point of it at all. Like, this kind of... Because I guess technically Tyrande wins, but the way in which Sylvanas gets away is very unsatisfying. Like, we saw when Ysera lands that she could have just, like, Banshee formed away at any point. Why didn't she just do that to begin with? What's the point of, like, making Elune take the powers back? Which also is even more confusing, because after this cinematic... in a further Covenant campaign chapter later down the road, when you see the other cinematic, she's, like, losing control of Elune's power again. So she has it again? Is Elune so weak that her power was all spent flying for 2 seconds to go intercept Sylvanas? Or... Again, it's not like, it looks super cool, and I like the details of, like, you know... The longer the battle goes on, the more Tyrande's skin is changing, and when the power goes away, Tyrande's voice loses that filter, and it just becomes her voice again. I like that. Sylvanas continues to just make up powers as she goes along. Now she can just, like, chain whip people with chains out of nowhere, which I guess is, like, an extension of what she does to Bolvar, but it's really strange. I guess it's the domination magic, but okay. I'm sure the people who get off to that stuff will really enjoy Tyrande being chained up by Sylvanas. Not my thing, but if it's yours, God bless. Very strange and confusing and almost pointless, I think. I was originally going to say this is Blizzard throwing a bone to the Night Elf hardcore fans and being like, see, you get something, at least she wins, but it's such a... I don't know, man. It feels like such a pointless, or even like, it's not a Pyrrhic victory because nothing is really lost, but it feels like kind of a pointless victory. As you can tell, I'm very confused. I don't really know how to feel about it. It wasn't bad, and it looks super cool. It just makes no sense, and I don't understand the point of it other than it looking cool, which I guess is World of Warcraft. Welcome to the game. And the story, I guess. So, there it is. Am I missing something, everyone? Let me know in the comments below. I don't know. I guess it was entertaining to watch. I guess that's all you can say about this game now. So, cool. Alright, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Hopefully the Elune one is not completely nonsensical and just done to appease Night Elf fans, which I don't know if this is going to appease them. I bet some of them will be okay with it because it shows Tyrande being cool, and Tyrande technically wins the battle. Because Sylvanas has to retreat. Although even when Sylvanas retreats, she accomplishes what she wanted. So ultimately, Sylvanas still wins. Personally, on that topic of, do I care if Sylvanas wins or Tyrande wins? It doesn't really matter to me. Like, who wins in those specific battles doesn't matter to me, as more as like the overarching narrative and the story of what's going on and the conflict matters. Like, I don't care if Sylvanas wins this battle. Obviously, Sylvanas and the Jailer have to get all the sigils. In this story they're telling, they're going to do it. So, like, I don't really care that Sylvanas wins. But they could have told it in so many other ways that would have been satisfying. Not even just as, like, a Night Elf or a Tyrande fan, but just as, like, a cohesive story. Like, I hate Sylvanas more than maybe anybody in the whole world. Like, I think she's the worst character in the franchise who's actively ruining it. But doesn't it kind of... If you're a Sylvanas fan, doesn't it feel unsatisfying that her victory is just because of an arbitrary choice of a god off screen that we don't understand why, turning off Tyrande's powers, and that's how Sylvanas wins? Like, I would rather Sylvanas actively did something on her own to win, or at least retreat. Like, it's really strange. Like, it's weird. But, there you go. It looked cool, it sounded cool, the music was great, as usual. All three of those things are always fantastic, because Taron Gregory and his team are great at what they do. But just once again, it's the story that just doesn't make any sense and is confusing. It's not confusing because I don't understand what's going on. It's confusing because things are happening for apparently no reason, just to facilitate something cool happening, or something that needs to happen, rather than figuring out a clever way to get to that conclusion. It's just, a random thing occurs that doesn't make any sense to get to that conclusion, and that's unsatisfying to me personally, at least. So anyway, what's my objective final thought on this? I don't know, really. It's strange. I'll have to think about it for a little bit longer. Catch me on Twitter if you want to hear. I'm sure I'll figure it out by then, and just barf out like 17 tweets that one person's going to read, and that's it. So, anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Stay awesome. I'll see you for the next cinematic. And yeah, farewell.